Sometimes you have a very large spreadsheet with a lot of data, and when you're trying to look at it, typically you'll have headings across the top, like you see this top row here, the months of a year, and you might even have, like, the left-hand column might be a label of some kind. Here I just have numbers, like could be days of the month or something like that. Then you have all this data in here, but you'll notice that if I start trying to scroll down, you notice that the headings at the top aren't visible anymore. When I scroll down, it's like, okay, this number here, which month is that? And then you're having to scroll back up to the top and look. And the same thing, you start going over here, okay, now what is the heading for this row? What day is this? So it gets hard to view that. There's a way that you can keep, for example, this top row visible at all times, and this left-hand column visible at all times, or whatever portion of it that you want to keep visible. And so here's what you do. It's in the View menu. You go to the View menu here. Now, if all you want is to keep the top row visible, in this case, names of the months, there's a thing here that says Freeze Top Row. So I click that, and now you notice that when I scroll down, that top row stays visible. So no matter how far down I go, I can always see, okay, this is September, and this is January, and so on. You can also, when you want to get rid of it, you click Unfreeze Panes. You can also click Freeze First Column, and that's going to do the same thing, except now when you scroll across, you notice that this first column, if this was different labels, that's always visible. But that doesn't do anything about the top row. What if you want to have both of them? Well, what you have to do for that, it's a little bit different. You can't click both of these. They end up being one or the other, but not both. So what you have to do, there's this, still in the View menu, there's the thing here for Split. Split, when you click that, you see this heavier gray line here in the middle. You've got one going across right here, you've got another one going up and down right here. Well, I can put my cursor right where those two lines cross, and I can move that wherever I want it to be. So if I want to see, if I want the top row and the first column to be frozen, you see now if I scroll, that's what I have. The first row is always there, that top row is always there. So I have those. And if I want that to be permanent, like I don't want it to change, I can now click Freeze Panes, and it makes those the same way, okay, except it gets rid of the heavy gray line. Now the one thing you can do here with this Split, if I click Split again, it gets rid of it. If I click Split, you notice I can move this wherever. So if I want to see the first 3 rows and the first 3 columns always, if I click that, now you see the first 3 rows are always visible, so are the first 3 columns. So you can put that wherever you want it to be so that it's always visible. So that's how you can split, how you can have, it's called freezing the panes, or freezing rows and columns. That's how you can do that to make a large spreadsheet easier to work with.